Hey everybody, it's your boy Nathan Crash.
And Chris.
Welcome back to another episode of Bodied by the Internet. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Oh my god. So if you're not familiar with the format, how this works is me and Chris, we read stories from Reddit and or creepypasta websites. And
we read it, we review it, we rate it.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's pretty much the gist.
That's it. And then for you to play the game,
you gotta like,
you gotta comment,
and
you gotta subscribe, and you gotta
follow me on Twitch.
Yeah.
At twitch.tv/Nathan_Crash. And that's about it, really. And then you're more than encouraged to leave.
Completely free.
Yeah.
You don't even have to pay any money to get in to play this game.
It's fun. It's the internet's favorite show.
Yeah.
So, get on it. Just share it with your friends. If you have any stories that you'd like to hear us read, or, you have any stories that you think don't suck, go ahead and send them our way. Another fun way to do that is, leaving a comment.
Or maybe if they do suck, we don't care.
Yeah, honestly, we don't
Just
care.
give us shit to read.
Yeah. So, I have a story today. Next story. I have a story called Station 82, the radio station that was erased from history, by Roshan Muhammad. I'm going to start reading the story now.
Roshan,
oh, beep, boop, beep, beep. All right.
It's like Roshan is like the Middle Eastern Roseanne.
Yeah, that's their favorite show.
Yeah.
That's the Middle East's favorite sitcom. All right.
Anyway,
I'm gonna give you guys like a quick heads up. I'm gonna butcher a lot of these names.
yeah.
So, all right, let's go. On August 17th, 1988, Mohammad Zia-ul Haq, the sixth president of Pakistan, died mysteriously in a plane crash. I remember that time clearly. My parents and I were a relatively poor family of farmers who lived in the tribal area of Pakistan. I won't mention where because I still have family living over there. So we couldn't afford a TV, not even a black and white one. Instead, we had a battery-powered radio that we placed on a cheap wooden table that we used to all sit around and listen to. Usually, we listened to songs on the radio, but after General Zia's death, it seemed like every radio station was covering one thing: Zia's death and theories on who killed him. For those of you who don't know, General Zia was a very polarizing figure in Pakistan. He came to power in 1977 through a coup d'etat, see Operation Fair Play on Wikipedia, and was pretty much an Islamist dictator. He enforced several strict laws which got him praise from the right-wingers and anger from the political left. During that time, the Cold War between the USSR and the USA was at its peak. Pakistan was allied with the United States during that time, while India was more so allied with the Soviet Union. During this time, the invasion of Afghanistan by the Soviets happened, and Zia-ul-Haq played a major role in helping the Mujahideen fight the communists.
The
Mujahideen fight the terrorists. I won't bore you with all the details, and the information is up on the web for anyone who's interested anyways. Anyhow, back to his death. Many had speculated who killed General Zia. Some thought it was just a plane crash, while others speculated India was involved or even the Soviet Union. Some had also pointed fingers to the CIA, but to me it didn't make any sense that they would want a political ally to be killed. One day, while I was at home alone, it was about 4 p.m. I was listening to the radio I talked about earlier. My parents were both farmers and were out in the fields doing their own stuff. I was switching through radio stations when I stumbled upon a channel with a channel called Shadi Ki Advice on Marriage, on Station 82. The host had introduced himself as John Masih. The name Masih is a title used by Pakistani Christians as in Messiah. His name stuck out to me as there weren't that many Pakistani Christians that I knew of. The segment went on to talk about tips for a healthy marriage. I don't remember the specifics, but most of it was generic stuff. They had a segment where they answered phone calls at the end of the show. This lady called in to talk about advice on her alcoholic husband or something of that nature. Me being a kid who was not interested in marriage advice started getting bored and was about to change the channel, but then another caller called up. I still remember his voice today. His name was Ahmed Malik. His voice was intense and showed a sense of urgency and fear. Ahmed was talking very quickly and I had trouble hearing some of his words over the radio as he slurred some words and sometimes the static from the radio made it hard to hear. Plus he was talking on the phone, which made it even harder. He kept talking about how his life was in danger because he stumbled across some classified information about General Zia's death. John was getting a little bit annoyed at this point because he thought it was a prank call and the show was supposed to be about marriage advice and whatnot. So he was about to hang up on him. But then Ahmed started screaming for him to stay on the line. Ahmed went on to say that the CIA had been behind the killing and that his brother Hassan Malik, who used to work for the ISI, was killed by a CIA agent for being aware of this information. The CIA was now after Ahmed and had been chasing him for a while. At the end of the radio call, I heard Ahmed say that the CIA was at the door. John was not having it and made a sarcastic reply saying, "Oh really? Tell him I said hi." Then we heard another voice coming in through Ahmed's side and I heard what sounded like gunshots. Ahmed let out some screams and then they became silent and someone hung up the line. While this was happening, John completely changed his tone and was saying, "Hello? Hello, Ahmed, are you there?" At the end of the segment, John apologized to his viewers. He started talking to somebody else from his radio show about the call, but before I could hear more, I turned it off because I was too scared of listening to more. My parents came in about 30 minutes later and asked what had happened as I was crying when they got home. I told them what happened and they told me that it was just a prank. I tried to explain to them that it didn't sound like a prank, but they insisted on it. That night, I had trouble sleeping and kept dreaming about gunshots. The next day, after school, when I was home alone, I reluctantly turned on the radio. When it was 4 p.m., I remembered Station 82. I debated myself whether I should tune into it and see what happened since yesterday. My parents had forbidden me from watching it as they thought the pranks were too scary for a kid like me. At about 4:12 p.m., I decided to tune into it, but couldn't find the station on my radio. The station had been removed. I thought maybe I tuned in too late that day, so I would try again tomorrow 4 p.m. sharp. The next day I did exactly that, but couldn't find it. I tried again for several days and came to the conclusion that it had been removed. Throughout the years, I had rationalized stuff to myself that it was probably removed for the violent content, but then when the internet started becoming a thing, I tried searching up Station 82 and found some results of the Shoddy Key Advice Show. There were several episodes on YouTube originally, which have since been taken down, but the one with the gunshots was missing. I eventually concluded I had hallucinated the whole thing. But then I came across some internet forums where people also remembered the incident. Some had speculated that the CIA itself was behind the removal of the show. One poster had mentioned that the original host of the show, John Massey and Aisha Ali, had been killed by the CIA the same day. I had not been able to confirm this, as the only information when searching up these names are some internet threads and some old YouTube videos that have since been removed. Finding information on them is very, very difficult, and I'm going to assume the day their show got cancelled, they were not heard from again. Anyways, that was pretty long. My hands are hurting from typing this. Lol. What do you think happened that day? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below.
Interesting.
That's a pretty cool story. I like this one.
Yeah, it wasn't like
It wasn't
supernatural or
scary, yeah.
anything, but it was like
It's like political intrigue, like a
government
cover-up.
espionage, cover up, yeah.
It's got a lot of good stuff in there. No comments.
No
though.
comments, really? Wow.
Hit refresh. Maybe there's comments now, because this was. All right, let's see. Sounds like it was real to me. John Hassi doesn't seem the type to be in on the prank like that, you know. In unrelated news, I went to high school with an Ahmed Malik. He had a brother, Abed. Well, I mean, this was a cool story.
Yeah, it was a cool story.
You know, I mean, whether it's look, whether it's a real story or not, this is a really cool piece of like speculative fiction, I guess, is how you would.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's like, even if it's not real, I mean, you know, we just finished reading the story, so obviously we haven't done any type of cursory like research on it or anything, but like I think it's like a really cool idea for like telling a story. There's like the political intrigue and kind of like there's like the conspiracy behind it. It's kind of cool. It's like it's got like a lot of the makings of those kinds of things that make you dive into a rabbit hole.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, maybe one day I'll fucking look into this. Maybe probably not. But this was a really cool story. I'll give it for just how much I was interested in it. I'll give it like 5.5.
I was thinking 7 just because it was a really good story. It just wasn't scary.
I'll give it a 6.5. I'll tell you, because it was better than the last story.
Yeah, I was definitely into it.
Yeah, I was really into it. I'm sad it wasn't longer.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's kind of that's kind of the point. Like,
yeah.
It's like it wraps you up and then it doesn't give you any real answers, and that's kind of the point of it. It's to keep you intrigued, and I think it did that very well.
Yeah.
Of a lot of the stories on the No Sleep Reddit, this was definitely one of the better ones, because most of the time when we read something from the Let's Not Meet is usually where I feel like I find the stories I like better, because No Sleep generally I kind of find at some point I find myself rolling my eyes at the stories at some point.
Yeah.
This one didn't actually. I didn't feel a point where I was just like
right.
You know, I didn't groan.
No.
So. Real good job to Roshan Mohammed. If this is a real story, if this is a real thing, go ahead and let us know in the comments. Like, if you want us to like look into this a little bit more,
let us know that.
Let us know that too.
Yeah,
we'll definitely
go through it, try to compile some info on it.
Yeah, because
if we can.
If we can, yeah. Because I mean, if this guy couldn't, and he was there.
Yeah, he was there, and he was more intimately involved with all the information and stuff.
But like, I mean, we'll see what we could do. I mean, if there's any more tidbits of information or things you can point us towards, go ahead and do that, because we're more than open to it. And while you're at it, feel free to leave your rating and your thoughts on the story, because that's gonna do it for this one, guys.
Hello?
This is CIA. Open the door.
Oh no!
Oh, dude.
Oh,
no. We're recording a show.
This is our last episode, guys.
We're gonna kick the door down. We're gonna kick the door down.
Please don't kick the door down. We're gonna come out right now.
I think they're armed.
We're not armed. We're not armed.
We're not armed.
I've never even held a gun.
He says he's got a gun.
No!
Oh no, guys. All right, so this is. Oh man, I guess Bodied by the Internet's canceled.
We gotta go talk to the CIA guys. So leave F's in the chat. You know, just in case we die.
Yeah, leave F's in the chat. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Get us to 1 million subs when we die. Let this become national news, because they're.
No.
God, they're gonna come. Oh God, they're coming to get us, dude.
Oh. Alright, so like, comment, subscribe.
Save our lives. If we get enough subscribers, they won't shoot us.
Yeah, we'll be too famous.
We'll be
too high profile.
So please, and follow me on Twitch and Twitter. You could just make sure you follow me on Twitch and subscribe to the YouTube channel and get your friends to that. Do that. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my god.
Try not to get bodied, everyone. Hopefully we don't get bodied.
We're gonna get bodied.
Oh no.
We're gonna body these guys.
Oh no, they're gonna body us.
We'll put them in the body bag, guys. Get the body bag.
Oh, we're gonna be bodied in a body bag.
Oh God, please help.